Welcome to the Crafty Toads podcast, episode 3.
Hi, everybody.
I am Mary Beth. You can find me all over the web as MaryBeth494.
I am Helen, and you can find me everywhere as HelenHG69, except Periscope. I'm Regittino, Reggittino.
And together we own Toad Hollow, which is our gift store here in Keyport, New Jersey, and you can see it behind us. And all around us, but you can't see that. So, okay.
It's been a good week.
It has been a good week. It's been a really good week. Well, it's been an interesting week.
Started off not so great, but ended up on a very high note.
Yes, a really good weekend. Really good weekend. So, last week, we left you that we were getting ready to go to Made in Monmouth, the craft show that was going to be held at Monmouth University. And we were feverishly trying to get bags done and stuff ready to sell at Made in Monmouth. And
twist.
That's right. As I was actually the same day that we filmed, as I was editing the video, we looked outside and it looked like there was mist coming down the street. Now, I mean, we live on the Bay Shore, so that there are times where you walk outside and it's like Tortuga. You think that you're going to walk down to the bay and the black pearl is going to be coming out of the mist towards you. It's that foggy. But then we realized it wasn't mist.
It was a beautifully sunny day.
Right. It wasn't mist at all. It was smoke. And there actually was a fire in a building about, what would you say, 100 feet down the street?
Yeah.
And across the street.
The good news was it was across the street, but it was very, very close.
Really close by.
It was, we made all the national news. It was the Keyport fire, and it got so bad that we could not see the building across the street.
That's how much
bad we were. The tunnel. Our street was the tunnel for the smoke. Because it was just black, brown, toxic smoke
blowing down the street because it was a very windy day. And what happened was somebody was working on the roof of one of the buildings. Something happened. The roof caught on fire. They wound up taking down 3 buildings. They had to actually take down to the ground 3 buildings because it was that bad of a fire.
And the 4th is, we just found out, will ultimately have to be torn down as well.
Right, because it's uninhabitable.
Knock wood, nobody got hurt.
Yes.
Too bad. There were a couple firefighters went to the hospital, but nothing too serious. Unfortunately, somebody lost their pets, and 3 or 4 families were displaced because there were apartments on top of the buildings.
Right.
But considering how horrific that fire was, the fact that no one was seriously hurt is really, really amazing, and that they got everybody out. But unfortunately, our building is an old 100-year-old building, so our windows and doors are not very secure, and we had a lot of smoke damage, so we were not able to do Made in Monmouth because our fabric just reeked of smoke. You can still, it's a week and a half later, right, and we walk in the store and you can still just get a little glimpse of it.
A little hint, yeah. So we have candles going and diffusers or
air cleaner.
Right, we've got an air cleaner going.
It's like a humidifier.
So we're okay. Everybody and the people in Keyport are so wonderful. We had so many people checking because we were close enough that if you weren't actually here at the fire, you couldn't tell whether it was our building or the ones further down. So we had so many people checking in and making sure that we were okay and that we didn't need any help. And actually, some people came in and dropped off the diffuser and that sort of thing to help us out. So I mean, really, really great town that we live in. And I know that a lot of the residents are reaching out to help the people who have been displaced. And
they started a GoFundMe account. And
they were trying to raise $10,000.
And within 24 hours, they had $19,000. It's one of the perks.
Yeah, and Keyport is not a wealthy town at all, so that it's just everybody doing a little bit, which is what's so wonderful about living in a small town. So, unfortunately, as Helen said, we did not get to go to Made in Monmouth, and I heard it was a wonderful event, so we're really hoping that next year we'll be able to do it. And
they don't ban us because we canceled at the last minute.
I know. Oh my God, we canceled at the last minute, like less than 12 hours. Yeah. No, maybe 18 hours before we were supposed to show. But we tried, airing out the fabric, and it wasn't going to work. We smelled of fire. So
My clothes still smell. Because we had to, just leaving, you had to walk through a haze of smoke.
A wall of smoke.
I mean, I have washed those clothes that I was wearing that day 2 or 3 times already, and it just still.
Yeah, when we got
Still
home,
reeks.
we live. I mean, we're so lucky. We live literally
less than a mile.
Literally 90 seconds driving. Not 90 minutes, 90 seconds driving.
The fact that we drive and don't walk.
Well, we always have stuff. We're always bringing things. But it takes us about 10 minutes, 15 if the dogs are being extra inquisitive about smells, to walk to work. So that, I mean, we're so close. But when we got home later that night, we kept smelling the smoke and thinking, oh, did it spark up again? Should we be worried? And when I stepped in the shower the next morning, I realized that it wasn't outside that smelled. It was me. It was in my hair. It was just, because once it hit the water, it was, oh, there's the smoke smell.
It's really incredible how insidious smoke is. And just things you don't think of with, fire. You think fire or water. And if you're just down the street, oh, thank God it's not me. But, I mean, we were talking to guys, there's a barbershop a couple doors down from where the fire was, and thank God he didn't get water damage or anything like that. They broke in his door
to check the walls.
Just to make sure that he was okay. So he had to fix that. But I was talking to someone and they said that he cleaned out his diffusers in the store, and they were just black. Absolutely black. So,
but
enough of the bad stuff.
Yes.
We made it through.
So the next, since we didn't get to do Maid and Mammoth on Saturday, we were here working in the store. But then on Sunday, that was a good day.
That was the best day.
That was a really good day because my brother from Baltimore came up with the 2 little boys, our nephews. Brayden is almost coming. He's 4.5. He's 4.5, and Cullen is almost 2. He'll be 2 next month. So we got to spend some time with the nephews, which was awesome.
Just, if you can, spend time with a 4-year-old.
They're so interesting.
They really
are.
We went exploring in my mom's backyard, and he was telling me about how to find bugs, because I want to find bugs.
Right. This is what we want to do.
He's telling me that his dad, which, first of all, it's our younger brother, is his dad, and there are 8 years in between me and his dad. I'm 8 years older than he is. Mary Beth is even older. And we, in your mind, you still see them as 8 or 9, 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
You see him as Braden's age, and when he's telling you that his dad taught him something, it's kind of like, what,
really,
Larry?
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Larry doesn't know anything. Sorry,
he's
Larry.
4.5.
But he was telling me that his dad shows him how you turn the rocks over and you look for the bugs there, and we were looking for centipedes. He was really excited to find a centipede and was really quite astounded that I was not
as excited,
as thrilled to find a centipede.
You didn't shriek.
I did
which
not.
I give you complete credit
because
you
we did
not
not find any centipedes. We found potato bugs, and he asked me, "What do potato bugs eat?" And I said, "I don't know." And this 4-year-old looks at me, rolls his eyes, and says, "Do you have your phone?"
Right.
Okay.
Let's look up on Google.
Okay, I will Google what potato bugs. Potato bugs eat human skin.
Lovely.
They eat your scabs. Charming.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
You didn't tell me that part. That's just gross.
So, now you know.
And they shared that over dinner.
Yes.
This is what we talk about at dinner time,
He is a very good boy. I mean, he just does boy very well.
Really well. Really well. And while Helen was
then we found slugs.
Yeah, well,
and he wants me to hold the slug. And I'm telling him, no, that's really... Nah.
Outside the realm of the ant?
Ant does not
Doesn't have to.
Slug. I will walk around with you. And then I took a picture of him at one point because, and if you see my Instagram, there's a picture of the back of him and he's turning over a rock. And I was Instagramming it, and all of a sudden I hear, "Are you coming?" Okay. Very demanding. But I love him.
Well, while doing that with Brayden, I was playing with Cullen. And Cullen is 23 months. They call him Cullanzilla because Cullen does not walk around anything. He walks through things. I mean, bushes, he just walks. He doesn't even do that. He just goes right ahead and stamps on things and steps down. I mean, gravel. We had such a good time throwing gravel. Really good time throwing rocks. And just stamping through things. And the minute he came in, he found a flashlight. And that was it. We went exploring. We went in. My mom has an old Victorian house with a full basement that is not
scary
finished at all, so that it's dark rooms and that sort of thing. So we went exploring.
It's the kind of basement where when we were growing up, that's where the Christmas presents were hidden.
Because she knew that she knew we wouldn't go in there because it was so scary. And it was just there's the coal chute and that sort of thing. So we went exploring the basement, which was great fun for him. There's spiders in the basement. No, not so much fun for me. But
yeah, the last time we saw Braden, he was terrified of spiders. You know, Spidey, get me,
right.
That kind of thing. Terrified of spiders. We're walking outside, and he sees a spider, and he says, oh, "Spider! We have to look at it." I'm like, "Oh, okay. We like spiders. Yes, black widows are my favorite spider." Okay.
So, pure boy. Going right along the way he's supposed to be. You know, you go through Thomas the Tank Engine and then trucks and fast cars, and he did his bit with Scooby-Doo, and he is now on bugs.
And dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs. Bugs
Last
and
thing
dinosaurs.
he said to us, because I said that we would find him a bug book. So I was telling him as they were pulling out of the driveway, I said, I'll try and find that bug book. All of a sudden, his window rolls down. That he rolled down himself, and he said, oh, well, while you're at it, get me a book about T-Rexes. Okay, we'll work on that.
We're the ants. We do this. This is what we do. Yeah.
And I find this charming that he is demanding this of me.
No, I know. Whereas normally it would be
any other child would be like, no.
Right. But it's the Braden. So, all right. So I'm going to take a drink. So
what are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking tea. Tea of the
tea.
iced variety, but tea. Look at that.
People's spring has arrived in New Jersey.
Yes.
It is absolutely glorious outside right now. It's in the 70s. It's sunny. Everything is green and pink, and it's just
It's a beautiful
I love
day.
Spring.
Beautiful, beautiful day. So, iced tea, what is it? Lipton, and it's half and half, right? Half lemonade, half iced tea. But the diet, we don't do the full on sugar, so but yes. Okay,
it's
so
the light, not the diet.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Light. Right. So Sunday was spent with the nephews and my brother, and actually it was siblings day, so it was really very appropriate. And then we came back and got ready for the trunk show because we were having a trunk show. But before we could get ready for the trunk show, this past weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was the New Jersey Wool Walk. I got that right this time.
You did.
The New Jersey Wool Walk. And over 20 yarn stores in New Jersey got together, and you went from place to place. You had a passport, and you went from store to store and got free patterns and discounts on yarn and got to meet indie dyers and pattern makers, and it was really, really interesting. And several of the stores are carrying our bags, the knitting bags that we make. And one of the big things right now is that they get a bag with their logo on it. This happens to be our logo, but this is the size bag. It's our sock bag with the logo, and then we put that on the front. I knit so that I don't hurt people.
That's going to show up, right?
I don't. And it's got our grommet so that you put your yarn inside the bag and have it come out through the grommet, and then the yarn stays in the bag and you knit without it rolling all over the floor.
Portable yarn bowl.
Right. So, but a lot of the stores like the idea of having their logo on it. So as they were getting ready for the knitting or the wool walk, we were getting calls. You know, can I get so many bags?
Yeah,
so
I sold out. I need more.
Right. We had 2 stores sell out completely and have to replace them
before the wool walk.
So Monday and Tuesday were spent doing that, getting those bags ready to go,
and trying to get them in the mail in time and down
and delivered. And then we had to make the bags for our own trunk show that we did, which was at Knit-A-Bit in Fanwood. And we did that on Friday and Saturday. So that was great. We met some really amazing people, some really avid yarn people who love knitting and crocheting.
And, I mean, the New Jersey Wool Walk, I mean, you obviously expect people from New Jersey. There were people, there's a group from Albany who comes and spends the weekend every single year, and they go to every single yarn shop. There was a group from Pennsylvania.
Eastern Pennsylvania.
There was a woman from Wisconsin.
There were a couple from Ohio. It was really great.
It's like their yearly girls get together. They come in from all over and they go to the New Jersey Wool Walk, which is just, I mean,
it's so
it's
much.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's fun. So we got to meet a whole bunch of people, talk to people, explain our bags to them. We got a bunch.
The best thing was one lady was there, and she's looking at our table, and she says to me, she's like, "Oh, those are the Toad Hollow bags," and I said, "Yes, they are." And I said, "Did you see them in another shop?" And she said, "No, I'm a member of Knit and Chat on Facebook. It's a Facebook group, and they're talking about your bags."
Yay! That's
Really?
so cool.
Okay.
We played it really cool. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Very bad.
And then
Very
we're
bad.
doing
Very
the
bad.
happy chance afterwards. We're like, oh my god, people are talking about our bags. So yeah, no, that's very exciting. Very exciting. So yeah, so we so
got
Friday
some great pattern ideas because people were wearing their knitwear.
Oh my god,
and it's just, I mean,
their shawls are gorgeous.
Some of their shawls are just gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
I actually printed one out, and that'll come later.
But on Friday, at the end of the day, we did fairly well, so we got to go shopping.
Yeah. So we went shopping at Knit a Bit, which is where the trunk show was.
Right. So you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. That one. That's the one.
There's a lot of yarn purchases.
Oh, this was such a
this
good weekend for
so
us.
that when I say this one, I'm going through a pile over here on the side. But my first one is Cascade Yarns Heritage Wave. It's, as you can see, 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's going to make some really fun socks. Blues and greens and stripies and just really soft, gorgeous. Look at how it changed the light. All of a sudden we're in this soft glow.
Yes. Okay.
Gone harsh back.
It's because it was up close to the camera.
Yeah,
I noticed it with other people too.
Yeah.
With theirs. So in the same vein, only going with my color pattern. Look at that.
We have a whole yarn shop to choose from, and we both go for the same thing.
I know. And not only this, our second purchase.
I was going to say, wait till you see the next one.
It's true, but mine is reds and oranges and yellows, and there's some dark. There's some brown in there too. I mean, this is so me. I love this. I absolutely love this. So, what are you looking for?
Oh, it's the tropical.
Oh, okay. Mine is. Where did it say?
It says on the tag.
Oh, mine. I took my tag off because I didn't want to do the price. Mine
Your solar.
Solar.
So mine's a tropical colorway.
And mine's solar.
Difference.
They are.
Heels, toes, and cuffs.
See? Brother from another mother. So there's that. And then we also got, this is Lorna's worsted.
Laces.
Lorna's laces. Lorna's laces. Oh, it's a shepherd worsted wool, 100% superwash merino wool. This one is, mine is called Child's Play, I think. Yes, mine is called
such a better name.
Yeah, yours is really, but mine is Child's Play, and it's got pinks, wrong side, pinks and purples, and then light yellows going into darker yellows, and then there are blues and greens, and it's just, look at that loveliness.
It's a lovely soft worsted.
Oh, it's so pretty. And it is approximately 225 yards. And I'm going to say 100 grams, right? But hand-dyed. This one is hand-dyed. Was the other one hand-dyed too?
No, it was really dry.
Oh, okay. All right, so these are
I'm trying to figure out where she's from. Because I think she may be local. To us, local to us. It's lornaslaces.net. So, but this one's mine. This is my color on the Lorna's Laces.
Tell them what the name of it is.
And it's called the Unicorn Parade. And it is just awesome. Again, with the worsted weight. And, I mean, just all the colors of the rainbow. Just beautiful. And I already know what I'm going to do with it.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to make the Hishigata hat. So that is a Knitter's Pride pattern. And they are doing a knit along in their group.
And it's by Angela Tong.
Angela Tong Designs. So, and if you join their knit along on Ravelry, it's the Knitter's Pride Ravelry group. If you join their knit along, they are giving 20% off this pattern if you use it in the knit along. So there's a code in the knit along to get 20% off. So it's going to be multicolored Hishigata hat.
And I'll bet there's going to be...
I'll pick one of the colors in here to be the pom-pom.
And I bet that there'll be plenty left over for like fingerless gloves or something like that to match.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on the Magic Panic Cowl by Susan Cove. And that's what it looks like. Only mine's going to be a little bit more muted because it's going to be in those colors. But it's going to be gorgeous. So that I'm going to be casting that on.
Tomorrow is our day off, so we will be casting stuff on. Tomorrow's cast on day.
Casting on all the projects.
And I guarantee that by next week we will have a ball winder because once we have to wind all this wool ourselves.
So I'm going to put this project. This is going to be in our amethyst tiger bag that we make. So that will be that project bag.
And mine is going in Sebastian the Grumpy Cat.
He's from the Ghastlies. So then Saturday, I headed back to Fanwood and did another day of doing the trunk show there while Helen,
I did not have such a great day, but procrastination
caught up with us.
Yes.
Helen had to do the taxes. But they're done. They're done. They're going out today. They got finished and everything. So, I
got prizes.
Yes. And then on the way home, we got a text from another store in New Jersey who decided she really wanted to get some of the bags too with her logo on them. So we met up with her on Sunday and placed an order with her. She placed an order with us, so that was kind of cool. So we will be delivering those in about 2 weeks. So because we got a bunch of custom orders while we were doing the trunk show, and a lot of the stores that carry our bags sold out, so we're refilling and gonna help them restock, which is kind of cool. So we have a busy week. Yes. But don't do that.
Oh, look.
So on Sunday, Sunday was our day to do the wool walk. Instead of working it, we actually got to do it. We didn't get to very many stores.
Well, we did work it a little bit because we were taking orders from yarn shops.
Right. So. But we did get to visit a couple of the stores. And one of the stores we went to, the first one we went to was Do Ewe Knit in Westfield.
Yep. And
Karen was having, she had an indie dyer there, and then she had an indie designer there. And I don't know whether I have the pattern. Oh no, I don't think I have his pattern. His name is Gus. Do you remember his last name? We'll put it in the bottom, but he had one of his shawls that was beautiful. Really beautiful.
We'll put a link to the Ravelry page for the shawl because we purchased the shawl. And,
we purchased the pattern while we were there.
And we bought the yarn to make the pattern.
Right. So he was really, really nice. Gus, hi, if you're watching. And I promise we'll put underneath exactly where to go to find the pattern. And he's also got a new one that's coming out May 1st, I think. June 1st,
May or June.
Right.
But it's really, it's very, very, it's color work, not too much lace.
No, it's mostly color work and some short rows, I think, and 2 different colors.
Almost like a ferrule.
Right. but really pretty. And we haven't done a whole lot with color work, so this is going to be kind of fun for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to get that too.
And he's local. He's Bergen County, New Jersey, which is always, it's always fun to
support local.
Support local. We expect.
We hope people will support us.
Yeah, we hope people do the same.
So anyway, talking to Gus, we spent some time talking to him, and then we bought his pattern, and we got some yarn to do it. So go ahead. You've been dying to get this yarn for so long, so go ahead.
Do Ewe Knit is known in the area. She's the only person. She carries hedgehog fibers. So I got my hands on some hedgehog fiber. It's their DK weight. And it is absolutely gorgeous. And the shawl is going to be gorgeous. It's soft. It's worth what it takes to get your hands on hedgehog fiber.
I can't wait to hear what it's like to knit with it.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll have enough that we can do minis with it, so I can practice with it too, because I didn't get hedgehog fibers.
And I'm trying to figure out, I don't think it says here. Sorry, they're picking. It's beautiful. Just a million different little colors, and I'm just so excited to see what it's like to knit with, how it's going to knit out.
So these are Helen's colors.
Well, look at this one. This one's got the. Can you see the green?
Lime green.
It's like acid.
Yeah.
Green.
So those are Helen's colors for her shawl. And go ahead, hold it up, because
we went different.
These are mine.
However, I did find that first.
Oh my God, she did. She found this, and because I was off talking to somebody, and she's like, "Oh my, I found your yarn." I said, "Okay," and she held it up. Oh, you need it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is Dragonfly yarn. The Colors of Happiness. Dragonfly fibers. Dragonfly fibers. The Colors of Happiness. It's I guess the base is the Kensington Farmers Market, and
I
the
think
color.
It's the damsel is because I think.
Oh, and then the color is the Kensington Farmers Market.
Maybe.
Okay. It's Kensington Farmers Market damsel. One is the color. One is the base. I'm not sure.
We'll go online and figure out which is which and put it down there.
But it's 100% superwash merino. It's 335 yards, and I'm gonna say it's 100 grams. But look at that, aren't they gorgeous? And this would really make so much more sense if we had the fabric, the pattern, so that you could see exactly what we're going to be doing with it. But we're going to be casting on, and you'll be able to see next week when we show you our awesome progress.
And with all the things we're casting on this week, do not be surprised if it's a cast on, and that's it.
I know. But see, aren't they pretty? So, these. Love these. I need a bag. I'm going to put these in one of our drawstring bags so that I can... Oh, that actually matches you so much better because it really doesn't match me at all. I will use...
Let me put it in first. Garden. Spring.
Boxes. So, drawstring bags. That's another project that's ready to go. From Do Ewe Knit, while I was doing the trunk show on Saturday, somebody was telling me that she also makes bags, and there's a fabric shop in Manalapan, New Jersey, that is going out of business, which is so I'm so upset about this because we didn't even know it existed, and this is true. Now it's going out of business, which is very sad. But we went to visit them on Sunday, and we managed to score some really lovely fabric while we were there. So are we going to show the fabric or wait?
We can show.
Okay, so some of the fabric that we got. The amethyst tiger that I just showed the bag. We got some in, so we're going to do it in the ruby.
Oh my God.
So pretty. This is Tula pink fabric.
We may have to go back before they close and get the rest of that.
These are the Tula pink bees in pink and green. Really, really pretty.
Christina's got all of those.
Also, Sarah.
And on a Tula pink front. Bumblebee trees. In green. The light stinks. You can't really see. It's like a limey green.
And gray.
And gray.
Very pretty. So that's going to be really pretty. And then one of our favorite designers, Tim Holtz. So we got some of his butterfly and ephemera.
Okay, get your slipping back. Mirror.
You have that.
Keys. Oh, it's good for Harry Potter.
Spike, come here.
And then, who can pass up the Chat Noir?
Spike. So, moving on from fabric, we did a little bit of damage with fabric, and that will be showing up in our bags coming up soon. We love this kind of thing, finding all these cool fabrics. And then we moved on to Chelsea Yarns, which is our local yarn store. So,
Colts Neck, New Jersey.
really great store, really beautiful.
Also online.
Yes. So,
We'll put all that.
she was having an indie dyer there, Marianated Yarn. And her stuff is just spectacular. We each got 2 skeins of Marianated Yarn. Put all the fabric on top of my bag.
Can't really, the light is doing weird things.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right there.
No, I was getting it too close and it was like, oh,
That
that's
actually
good.
is really good. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
So that you get really good to see all the different colors. And then this one, because they match. And they are each 100 grams, 75-25, and what
75 super merino, 25 nylon.
we are going to do is we're going to switch. One of us is going to do socks in this colorway, heels, toes, and cuffs in this colorway. And the other one's going to do socks, heels, toes, and cuffs.
And then we also got these two to go together. So we have this one is unique. It's a one-of-a-kind marinade. So
that's why we got it, yeah.
Right. She said that it's one of a kind. It's not going to be done this way again. It never comes out the same way twice. So this one, again, somebody will do socks in this and heels, toes, and socks in this. This is called Under the Sea. And then the other person will do the socks in this and heels, toes, and cuffs in this. So, and I'm not sure which one I want to do, whether I want a green sock with this as the heel or whether I want this with this as the heel. I think it's going to be a toss-up. Yeah.
Coin toss. This one is Rainbow Sherbet, very aptly named. And this one, I mean, is perfect because it's melted crayons. And she is based out of Edison, New Jersey, which is 20 minutes from us in Keyport.
Right.
So it's just great to find another local artisan.
And we had so much fun talking to her.
And she was telling us about she had just signed up for her booth at the New Jersey Sheep and Wool Festival, which is coming up in September. And we were saying that we were thinking about it. So hopefully we're going to try and get a booth next to each other.
Yeah, no, it's really, we had a lot of fun talking to her. She was a fun lady. So we did that.
And she was having... She was
a really good show.
Really well, because she did a pop-up shop in Chelsea for the 4 days of the Wool Walk. And then, why stop there?
Right. Well, Chelsea, Christina from Chelsea Yarns, she dyes her own yarn. So this is our first foray into these.
Minis.
We got minis. Look at these minis. Aren't they gorgeous?
And if I were any kind of sport, I would use them in the mini swap that Sue from Knit 24 is going to be doing, but probably not.
We will see. We may have to go back and get another thing because, as I said, she dyes these herself, so we may just have to go back.
It's perfect for a swap because it's a local New Jersey dyer, so it's not something that you're going to see everywhere. Look at all those lovely colors.
So we have been talking about people using their minis.
with the cozy memories blanket,
Right.
and
we want to use minis and do that, but we
don't want to do the blanket.
We don't follow the rules. We have to blaze our own way. So I think we're going to do a Mrs. Weasley sweater.
Yep.
Making a sweater out of our minis.
So we're going to find a simple cardigan and then just start and just go through minis.
Right. And I think what we'll do, we decided
sweater.
What we decided we were going to do was you knit through half the mini and then you pass it over.
Yeah.
So that we each get
half of the mini.
So that we'll get all these colors together in a sweater. It's going to be
awesome.
It's going to be a mess, but it's going to be awesome.
And it's going to be us.
Totally us.
I mean, it's just...
mismatch of colors and patterns on top of patterns and colors that maybe shouldn't go together. Yeah, but I'm not even going to
doesn't matter. Try and put the minis like this should go next to this. It's just going to be stick my hand in the bag and grab a mini.
And then we'll also add, because since we're relatively new to knitting this way, we haven't been saving minis.
Yeah.
So we are going to be as we finish,
we'll just collect them and as we
add them in.
Go along.
Just add a little bit in. Yeah. So cool. But we have minis now.
And it may just be that you start and you have to stop knitting the sweater until you get some more minis.
Right. Hey. And okay, so the other thing that we've been talking about doing, it's almost all. The other thing we've been talking about doing is doing a sweater. Not a heavy-duty sweater, a light sweater for the spring, because with the weather changing and everything, we want to have sweaters that we can wear.
I'm missing.
What are you missing? Are you missing pink? There's a right down there. So we got some light cotton. It is cotton, right?
Yes.
We got some cotton to start a sweater.
It's Barocco modern cotton because... it's a Barocco modern cotton. Each skein is 100 grams, 209 yards, 60% cotton and 40% rayon. So it's not 100% cotton.
Oh, we were getting so excited and wound up with things. We just totally didn't read that. It's still going to be fine.
It'll be fine because it'll give it a little shape because cotton has a tendency not to...
Right. And you'll be able to wash it.
Right.
So it'll be good. It'll be very good.
It's not what we thought it would be, but...
It'll be fine.
Yeah. It's very dark.
It's the light. It's the light.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway. So, do you want to show yours?
Sure. So, my main sweater, my plan here, I had a sweater all picked out, and then just before we started filming, I was going to print it out, and I realized it calls to knit on size 15 needles, and I am not knitting on those big fat needles. So, I had to find a new sweater. But I'm just going to do a simple raglan sweater, ribbing neck, ribbing cuffs, ribbing. So my main sweater is going to be this pink. It's a lovely, soft
shell pink.
Shell pink.
I thought it looked kind of purpley, which is not the kind of way I tend to go. But then Helen picked out her accent color.
But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ribbing for the neck, sleeves, and bottom in this color.
And that is not showing up right.
No.
It
is bright cherry red.
Right.
And Fire engine red.
When you put it next to the pink, all of a sudden the warm colors of the pink come out, and it's not so cool with the purple.
Blowing out the colors because the pink looks white.
Right.
And it's not. Trust me.
It's beautiful.
So that's my plan. But I got to find my sweater.
So, because we do the same thing, we have to do things the same. I decided that I am going to do this for my main color. I don't know that we're going to do exactly the same pattern, but the same idea. So this is going to be the main color of my sweater, and it's like an icy blue. And I don't know if it has, I think it just has a dye, the color number. It's color 1621. So that's going to be the main part of the sweater. And then my accent is going to be this, which is like a sea blue.
It's gorgeous.
It's so pretty. So this is color 1665. So together they look like that. So if you think about this being the main color with that as the accent, it's going to be really pretty. We have a lot to cast on tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
A lot to do. Gotta find needles.
Gotta wind it all.
We did a little bit of that while we were shopping because we got a couple of pairs of needles. People have been talking about all these needles, and with the sales and everything, we thought, okay, so we'll try some new needles.
So we got a set of higher sharps, size 2 for socks.
We went pretty much socks the whole way.
Sorry, 32-inch cable, and then we got the Chagu in also size 2, but a 40-inch cable because Mina, the knitting expat, just put up a video for knitting 2 socks at a time. So my next socks, I'm going to do 2 socks at a time, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to want the 40-inch cable. So we got 2 sets of these, so we can each use them at the same time.
Okay. I think that's pretty much... Oh, that was the acquisitions for yesterday. But then just before we...
Guess who came?
We started filming, we got a package in the mail. And...
So I don't make the same mistake I made on Instagram. I'll just show you the package. Because I put poor Connie's home address on Instagram for all of 5 minutes. I'm sorry, Connie. I really am.
So, here, turn it like... We got a package
This is our address. But we got a package from Chili.
From Chili Knits. So we had ordered this, what, 2 weeks ago?
It didn't take very long at all, yeah.
Yeah, it really didn't take very long. And I know exactly what I am doing with mine. Because we picked out our colors so they can see. Look, you can see.
Drew is so excited.
Look, there, see? Chili Knits.
And there's
tea. This one's mine. The green one's mine. I am going to knit Midsummer Night's socks. Great pattern. It's got leaves and vines coming up the front of the sock, and it's going to be gorgeous, especially in that spring green.
This is Ceylon black tea, lemon lime. The whole package, I opened it up, and all you get is citrus.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice.
See? I have yours.
This is mine. Well, look, there's a little butterfly on it. A progress creeper. We were just talking about how we need progress creepers. So, mine is called Envy from Chili Knits.
And mine is so fresh.
80-10-10. Mine is Nimbus fingering. 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon.
And mine is the strong sock, and 75 merino, 25 nylon.
And
100 grams.
435 yards?
So it's
463 for you. So mine is a little bit smaller, but it is beautiful. Look at that color.
Just in case you don't think Instagram works for selling things, she caught me in a
moment of weakness.
A moment of weakness. She put up the picture of this beautiful skein of yarn and said it was the last one left and it needed a home. So I commented that maybe it was coming to mine. And look at that.
It did.
It did. I purchased it right then.
And I got to get mine.
And I told Mary Beth, I'm ordering yarn. You might as well pick one because you're going to be jealous when I get mine.
Yeah, no, you can't do one without the other. So, and I had just found the pattern for the Midsummer's Night sock. And I thought, oh, this is going to be absolutely perfect because it's going to be the spring green. And it's just going to be beautiful. So I'm very, very pleased with this. Thank you so much.
And it was so exciting when the mailman came in. I had to tell Connie on Instagram that it came just in time for the podcast.
Yes. So.
And it's so soft.
Oh,
Let me feel yours because you have...
I know. It's so soft.
Cashmere.
It's really, really nice.
And the color is just gorgeous. Beautiful. I can't wait to knit with it.
So
I have to find something.
Casting on tomorrow.
Maybe socks.
Yes. I'm getting this lovely little pile of project bags and yarn. It's really beautiful.
Yes.
A lot of green. I have a lot of green in mine right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Lots of greens and oranges, but that's to be expected because my favorite color is orange. So there will always be orange in my.
But mine's green and yellow, so you would think the green would be over on this side.
Right. I know. So, but okay. I am just checking our show notes to see what else we wanted to do because we're getting close to the end.
I have...
Oh, we wanted to do...
other patterns to show.
Right. Well, we wanted to do our FOs and our whips. We haven't done any actual knitting.
I have F-O.
Right. Are you ready to show it?
I have
While
to
you
find
get it, I will do mine. I have
Maybe it's
an
maybe cooler than mine.
I have an SCFO. So close to FO. Because mine is, it just has a little bit more to finish. Chelsea, or Legacy Knits is doing a stuffy along. And you're supposed to knit a stuffed animal during the month of April.
I'll show my whippets.
And this is mine.
Is she not the coolest thing you've ever seen?
She is Kitty's, it's Kitty's Knit Club. So I knit a cat, and then she has a sweater with a turtleneck sweater. And then I knit her skirt separately. This had to be, there was so much to sew on with this.
Pantaloons.
She has little pantaloons. And then she's got a ball of yarn, and she's knit herself a scarf. And look, I made her little knitting needles. Can you see the knitting needles? Because they're so cool. So the only thing I have to finish is her face. I have to figure out her eyes to get them proper, and then do her mouth and her nose. But then she will be finished. So she will be going up into the FOs.
What's the pattern?
Today or tomorrow. But this is Alan Dart's Kitty Knit Along. And it comes with several different cats that you can do. Some of them are winding yarn, some of them are knitting, some of them are carrying a basket full of yarn balls. This actually, you knit a little piece and then draw it tight and stuff it, and then you take a darning needle with the same color yarn and go over with large stitches, so it looks like you actually have a ball of yarn.
He's amazing with all Alan Dart
details.
As a
Sooner
designer.
or later, I will figure out how to get this so you can actually see it. But anyway, so that is my so close to finished object.
It'll be in the FO thread with a good picture.
Yes, tomorrow at the
Because
latest.
she is so cool.
So pretty.
But while we're on the subject of the stuffy along, I have
I love his shape so much.
almost dragon. His head is done. He's very, very wobbly.
But that will be fixed.
But that I mean, that's the next step is I have to secure his head and do his ears. But he's almost done because it's really just his limbs.
I really love his shape. He's got a very good shape.
He's got a very side profile. You know what part of the problem is? The sun coming in that window.
Right. But here, his head's supposed to go
It
this
is.
way.
His head is. It's on
Just
an
show
eye.
the bobbles on his back.
It's an
They're so cute.
eye cord, and it's just a matter of getting his head secured properly. But then he's got there are bobbles
that are going to be at the spines coming down.
It's like his head has been severed. So.
Very cool.
Very cool pattern. This is Susan B. Anderson. It's the little dragon.
What about his
pattern.
tail?
His tail, I think you pick up stitches in the back.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all supposed to be one piece. I'm not supposed to have to sew anything except his head down.
That's fantastic.
So, very cool. I got very wrapped up in my FO and getting it done in time.
I do want to say Sue is trying to start the Stitching Revolution. Hashtag Stitching Revolution. This is as close to Stitching Revolution as I am going to get because it's driving me nuts and I just got 2 eyes. That's it. Knitting, yes. Sewing it together, okay if I have to.
And using a sewing machine.
Embroidering.
I adore sewing with a sewing machine, but no.
So, anyway, finished object. Go ahead.
Should we go with FOs or no?
Do your finished object. This is really cool.
They're not blocked yet because they look kind of.
Socks.
And you know what I did?
You would never know until you knit the second one, and you did right on the second one.
This is the first sock, and this is the heel. And I thought, oh well, that's an interesting looking heel. And then I did the second sock. And I thought, oh look, that's what the heel's supposed to look like. It's an Eye of Partridge heel. And what I did with the first sock was I knitted inside out.
Somehow or other, she knitted inside out.
So,
first pair of socks,
however,
though.
it's my very first pair of socks that I've ever knit.
I mean, if you're going to make a mistake, make
it on the heel.
Nobody's going to see it.
Right.
But it's going to be, it makes it stand out.
So,
This is your handmade moment.
It is. It shows that it's handmade. They're Hermione Everyday Socks because they are part of the Harry Potter Knit Along for Inside 23 and
Inside number 23.
Inside number 23, and also Vegan Jilly's The Knitting Broomstick. She has a Harry Potter along, so I have added them in there. And also, because I'm double dipping with these babies all over the place. Vegan Jilly also has a sock club, so I put them in there too.
How many socks do you have to do for the sock club?
Just you knit a pair of socks and you put it in the sock club during the week, during the year. So
that's cool. So now are you going to try and do the box of socks?
I don't think so. It's April 18th, and I have managed to complete one pair of socks.
Well, you're better than me because I have, on my socks, I have to about here.
You better be going because you have only 2 weeks left for the Harry Potter.
Right.
So, I'm going to block these tomorrow.
Do you think I could take away one of her knitting needles and turn it into a wand and make her into a Harry Potter wizard? And she'll be my Harry Potter knit along too. No, I'll try and finish the socks.
I bought some wool wash from Chelsea Yarns yesterday, and I'm going to block them. And then I will have my very first pair of socks. And aside from being my first pair of socks, they're my first Ravelry knit along that I've actually completed. They are also the first knitting project that I have managed to start and not abandon and finish.
So cool.
It's in about a year.
Right. So that's fantastic.
Very cool.
Very cool.
I also used my sister gave me the project for Christmas, and it's April 18th. Done. And I'm about to cast on the second ball.
There you go. Very cool. I have a whip that I've been working on, my work in progress. And oh, it's in here. I changed bags. That's what it was. Okay. This is the Whispering Pine shawl from a Homespun House. This is what it looks like. That's what it looks like on her. And this is what it looks like for me, as far as I've gotten. I think it's going to be like this. I'm pretty sure that's the top. So this is a dark forest green. And this is Wonderland Yarns in their Cheshire Cat base. And the colorways of mine is, I'm pretty sure
the green is gorgeous.
It is.
You are not getting it in the camera at all.
The right color. They're not getting the colors.
It's
make everybody dizzy.
It's a really busy. I don't know where that word came from. It's a very sunny day, as you can tell in the back there, and maybe next week we turn it around.
But anyway, this is the green. This is the yarn that I got for Easter. That it comes with 5 different colors. So I'm doing it just going up the colorways, and I'm pretty sure mine was dark jewel, I think.
Yeah. And mine was a dark rainbow.
Right. So mine are all blues and greens, and I'm starting with this one, and then I'm going to work through this green, and then into the sea green, and then into the light blue, and then into the dark blue. And what I originally planned to do was to have the dark bluish purple up around my face because I have blue eyes, so I thought that would be right. But I didn't realize that this actually is the top of it. So I'm working down. So the green's going to be around my face. But that'll be okay too. Because that'll work. Because as you can see, I'm afraid to wear green. So it's going to be really, really pretty. Lacy. A little bit lacy. And very, very light. It's fingerling weight.
Soft yarn.
Yes, it's beautiful. So that is my shawl that I have been working on.
And I've been working on, I don't have the pattern with me, but the Windswept by Homespun House.
Do you want me to hold half of it?
Sure. So I have more than me with it.
She does.
So
I think this is the, I think that's the back. I think that's the front. I think that's what you want to show them. So there you go. That is so pretty.
So I have finished with my yellow, and I've moved on. Just last night I started to move into the orange. Beautiful, easy pattern. I think I'm up to about 150 stitches.
And you need what, 263?
And I need to still add another 100 as I'm going along.
I know.
And it's adding 4 stitches per row every 2 rows. So I've got a ways to go before I hit my 200 stitches. But
it will come. It will come.
These are, so I've got the yellow and the orange.
There's that.
And here, that's the bowl of orange. So it's a lovely...
It's like a brownie orange.
Burnt orange. Where's that getting the best color? Wait, over here.
Actually, this right here, that looks good.
Yeah.
That looks good. Okay, so here.
That.
That.
And then after the orange, we're going to go into the red. Keep it away from the sun.
Okay. Oh, good. Like that. Okay.
And then a light purple.
Pinky purple, because there's pink in there too.
And then a deeper purple. So it's going to be all of those.
Here, put it in front of you. Like that.
Together.
There you go.
So
really nice.
Progress is being made.
Yes. So, we were doing...
And we're going to cast on at least 5 or 6 more projects tomorrow.
Well, we were doing a lot of sewing this week.
Yeah, we did not get a lot of knitting
Most
done.
of our week was done on sewing. There were quite a few 11 or 11:30 nights where we were leaving the store very, very late trying to get everything done. And
the only people we were not beating out of town were the accountants next door because of tax time.
Right. They were still there, these poor people. But it's almost done. Today's the
last day. Yep.
And then they get to relax for a little bit. We have a lot of sewing in the future, but I don't think quite as much in
not
such
as much stressful
close period of time, small period of time. So that more sewing. I mean, more knitting. But I would love to be able to hold up a whole bunch of bags that we made to show you, unfortunately. Well, fortunately. We sold most of them. It was a good day. Good
and on the subject of our bags, we donated a bag to Legacy Knits for their Stuffy Along.
As a prize.
And we gave Sue and Chelsea each their own bag. And they showed them yesterday on the podcast.
Yes, it mentioned us.
It was kind of exciting.
Hi, Chelsea. Hi, Sue. It was
very
cool.
exciting.
Fangirling, that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, so very cool.
Yes, very cool. And they showed the bag, which was really very nice of them. Yeah. And it's a Winnie the Pooh bag, so they perfect for a Stuffy Along.
Liked our contribution to them as much as we hoped they would.
Yes, so. It was a good thing. So we watched that last night. Also, while we were out doing the shopping and doing the wool walk, the last thing we did was we stopped at a little Italian deli and got homemade ravioli or fresh made ravioli and homemade vodka sauce. So we came home and had such a good dinner. This weekend was such a good weekend. We've had a lot of, stressful things leading up to it, but this weekend was such a good weekend.
And compared to the weekend before, it was really...
Yes.
It was nice.
It was a good weekend.
We should talk about podcasts we were watching. While we were sewing, we had podcasts going in the background. It's a great thing to have the knitting podcast going. We pretty much binge watched Lone Larch Designs.
Yes.
And Jenny, we
love
your knitting in the wild ideas, and keep going with the tree information because I really enjoy hearing about it, and it's very interesting.
Also, we're trying to build up our backyard.
We're trying to build a natural barricade.
Yes, we want... I told my neighbor that really my ideal fencing is, think Snow White's castle, where... not Snow White, Sleeping Beauty's castle, where the thorns are coming up and there's a natural living barricade. That ideal to me.
We watched the Cherry Pearls podcast.
Right.
They were fun. It's a mother-daughter team also.
Louisiana, right? I think Louisiana?
Yeah, I think they're outside New Orleans.
Yeah, so they're fun to watch. O-Loops.
We started watching the O-Loops girls.
Getting caught up on the O-Loops. So we had seen one or two.
Sarah Stevens has a...
What is it? It's something elf hat.
It's a Christmas hat that she designed. And... I'm going to be making those hats for Christmas. I love that hat.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I sent it to Mary Beth. We are making these.
Well, we're going to make them for ourselves, but we have 2 elves.
We do.
That are the perfect age for elf hats. I mean, they're perfect. So, and they're funky colors and cool. So we're going to be doing those.
Who else?
What else have we been doing? We did. I'm trying to think.
Francofil.
Francofie.
Francofie. We
caught a couple of
caught a
hers.
couple of hers.
I can't think of anybody else.
Well,
who were we watching last night? We did Chelsea. We did Legacy Knits. She came up late.
That was it because we were.
Oh.
We watched.
Oh, that's right. What's
it called?
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
We're so far behind on movies.
We don't watch movies very much.
We
don't go to the movies.
we sit down and fall asleep.
But it was amazing because we pulled into the driveway yesterday after doing the wool walk, and I said to Mary Beth, it's 5:00 in the afternoon, and
we're home.
What are we going to do with ourselves?
It's crazy. Nobody's going to know what to do.
Right, we don't know it. So we sat in our beautiful backyard and we knit for a little bit and played with the dogs, which was just so nice.
Right. I mean, it was such a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Yeah. Really beautiful day.
And then we watched a movie, and we watched Inside Out. And I am sure we're the only two people left in the world who have not seen this movie. But just in case.
Oh my God,
go see this movie.
It's such a good movie.
Such a good movie. And it's not just a kid's movie. It's just...
they never... Pixar is never just a kid's movie. It's always... There's something for parents, too. I think Disney is really good that way because they realize they want the parents to bring the kids to the movie. And they understand that you can't have them watch...
and it's very realistic.
Yes. So. Very, very good.
And then on the subject of being the only two people left in the world, we watch... Captain America, Winter Soldier. Finally.
My brother John
brothers cannot believe we still have not seen that movie. Okay, John,
we have now seen the movie. We understand what you're talking about.
You can now say that I like he gives us this look like, do you even like movies?
I know. He asks us these because we'll say something, we're like, why do you even like movies? So, yes, we do. That one we liked very much, actually.
Yeah,
and it was really
Marvel
good.
Has not been my thing. It's just... I don't know why the Marvel Universe just does not... I like the first Avengers movie. The second one, I really didn't know what the hell was going on most of it.
I think I slept through part of it. Honestly, because I didn't understand half of it. And it's not that I mean, because, it's I understand these things. It's just I wasn't following it. I wasn't interested enough to follow it. But I think it makes more sense having seen Winter Soldier. Because there are parts of it that show up in the second Avengers that now, okay, now I know what they're talking about. So yes, liked it very, very much. That was very good. So
those were our podcasters for the week.
Right. So, reading anything good?
No, I am not. I'm reading a book for book club, and I'm not going to say what it is, because I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. We're both in the same book club, and I don't like it.
And it's just.
Kind of want to slip my wrists.
All get out, and oh God! And I didn't read. I'm feeling guilty because I did not read for the last month's book club. I was the only one at the book club that hadn't read it. There were other people who hadn't read it, but they had the good sense not to show up for the book club.
We host it here at the store,
so I have to show.
She has to show.
So I'm reading this one, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's not our type of book.
I cannot wait until the book club is over so I can, if I haven't finished it yet, I can just be like,
I don't have to finish
take this thing away from me and let me read something I like.
And the thing is, we bought it on the iBook.
$13 on this terrible book.
That neither of us like. I mean, it's sad. It's
just
very sad. So I finished The Lake House by Kate Morton. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was so good. It was really, really, really good. So I really like that one a lot.
You've got two others going, right?
I do. However, I'm reading The Paying Guests, which you read.
Yes.
That I'm enjoying that so far. I'm only about 15, 20 pages in, so it's not really far, but it's good so far. Yeah, right. And then I'm reading. Oh, it's one by Laura Lipman, and I can't remember what it's called. I just started it, so that one's good too. That's good. So.
I can't wait to get a good book.
I know. You've had a run of not so great books.
It's just these book clubs are in.
We have to get you a good book. We had picked a book.
If you have suggestions, we've created a
what are you reading book?
A thread in our Ravelry group for what are you reading. So if you go there,
please feel free to make suggestions.
Yeah. Because somebody actually did, and Brookland or something like that.
Oh yeah, that sounded really good.
Check out our Ravelry page. We'll put the link up.
We are the Crafty Toads on Ravelry. That's our Ravelry group.
Probably said that.
Yeah, we probably should have. Look at that. Okay,
We're
so
learning.
we have a Ravelry group called the Crafty Toads. And we have a couple of different threads there, and one of them is if you want to tell us good books. We had picked out a different book for book club that was a mystery that sounded really good. It was C. Jane Run, I think, but it's out of print. It was written in 1995, and it's out of print.
And nobody could find it.
Only one person could find it, and she got the only copy in the area.
She happens to be the local librarian, so she managed to snag the
got
library
it,
copy.
You know, and nobody else had it, and you
we all
couldn't
thought
find
we
it
could
online.
find it digitally, and that we could either borrow it down from the digital library
or buy a copy of it.
Or buy a copy and share it with each other. And
Amazon doesn't have it.
Nobody, it's out of print, so we had to do a quick change. And Claire, you're never allowed to pick books again.
No, I think I picked this.
No, she picked. It was her choice.
Oh, was it?
You just happened to pick from her choices. So.
Okay, so
Claire and Mary Beth are out of suggestions.
We're not allowed to pick the books anymore.
2016, they've run out of their suggestions.
That's okay. I'm good with other people picking. But yeah, this is definitely outside our normal range of reading, which is one of the reasons we joined book club, because we want to read things that are outside, what we normally read.
Which is another reason why I'm forcing myself.
However, I'm learning
depression.
that the reason I read mysteries is because I like mysteries. Not so much this. But okay.
Anyway, enough about the bad book.
Yes. So
we're gonna do our new section.
Right? Oh yes, we're doing a new section.
We're gonna call it the Diary of a Shopkeeper, I think.
Yes, because we're shopkeepers.
We're shopkeepers.
Look at that. It works.
And just sitting in helping customers. And it's not, as everybody says, when you are in business for yourself, it's not 9 to 5.
No, it's not. And it's a learning thing, so there are ups and downs.
We have been through so many iterations of our shop.
Yes. We have changed.
As we change to try and just
make it work.
Make it work and make it work with the times, because another thing is, the days of strolling through and window shopping and let's go in there and look around. I think with online and everything, it's not necessarily there unless you are in a destination town, which we are not. So anyway, however, the first segment will be, how did we get here?
What did we do before we became shopkeepers?
We have not been shopkeepers since we got out of college.
Right. So
way back.
Right, with the dinosaurs.
We graduated from college.
Yes. I graduated first, and I graduated from Smith College in Northampton with a English literature degree. And I then...
Funnily enough, 3 years later, I graduated from Smith with a degree in...
Wait for it.
English literature.
So.
And a minor. Somebody was telling me she'd graduated with an English literature degree and a minor in economics. No. English literature, history minor. And it was English history. I did the Tudors and the Stuarts.
Oh my God.
I went strictly with what I was interested in.
Right. So
I did take a calculus class.
I took some science classes. I took just about every kind of class you could take at Smith.
Yep.
I had art, I had music, I had architecture, I had archaeology, I had psychology, I had science, and math.
I never went near I don't even
remember
where the science building
law.
was.
I did law.
Oh, con law.
Con law, yeah. I was really interested in that. A lot of history, a lot of English. Anyway, I even took a tennis course. And I played croquet my freshman year. I was on the croquet team.
You were such a Smithy.
I was. But you know what? When I was applying for jobs afterwards, if you put that as your extracurricular activities, people wanted to know what it was like to be on the croquet team. So it got me into interviews.
Interesting resume.
So, but anyway, I went from there to teaching. I got my master's degree from Georgian Court College here in New Jersey in education, and I started teaching, and I spent 12 years teaching kindergarten and first grade, mostly kindergarten.
Can you believe anybody would choose to do that?
I had such a good time. I really did. I had one year where our entire science class, it was science, social studies, everything was around the world in 180 days, and I made them passports, and we went to different countries, and we learned how to do art from the countries, and we read books and stories from the countries, and oh my God, we had such a good time. Really, really good time. So, yes, I did that for about 12 years. And then from there, I moved out of the school district that I was in and went into um, working in an office. I worked for a construction company. That was where my creativity went down the tubes.
But that is also where our online
Yes.
store was born.
Yes. So,
um,
I worked in construction office for about 5 years, and then we decided to open the store. So that's how I got here. Go ahead.
I took a slightly different path.
Yes.
Teaching, it was never an option. Not for me. So I'm fairly decent at math, so I went into graduate school for accounting and business, and I got enough credits there to take the CPA exam, and decided that that was never ever happening.
It's lucky that you recognize that you're not a CPA.
I at the time that I was working full time and taking the accounting classes at night, and I was working for a real estate company that handled property management, and one of our major tenants was Deloitte and Touche, which is one of the biggest accounting firms. And those little worker drones, I would watch them every day, and I'm just like, no, not me. So I stayed in the accounting field. I just never became certified at it. I did bookkeeping and accounting work for real estate and construction companies, and I worked my way up. When I left the industry, I was the CFO. And I hated every single minute of the day. I don't mind the accounting work. I am a very my problem was I didn't mind the work. I minded the office politics, and being in construction, it is not an easy industry to be a female, especially a female with a point of view and a point of view she'd like to voice every once in a while. So anyway, I did that for a very long time.
Yeah.
And when we decided 5 years ago, the decision was made for me. My job ended, and I was laid off during the real estate downturn. And we decided that, fine, screw it.
We're going to open a store.
The economy stinks. Nobody has any disposable income. Let's open a store.
Let's open a store, because that's...
what could go wrong?
Right. So next time we'll tell you about...
what could go wrong? Because it all did.
No. But we'll tell you about opening the store and everything. We'll also tell you about online business, because we started online. So, but we'll save that for...
The good news is, with all the down and everything, this month we have had a shop for 5 years. Yeah,
we celebrate our 5-year anniversary, which is cool.
Of doing this full time.
Very cool.
It is not... It's not been easy, and we were talking about it this morning.
And it is nowhere near what we started as.
And it's not even close. But really,
it works.
It works. So we've managed to keep a roof over our heads,
right,
with help. But just
you know what?
5 years. That's pretty good.
And I think we're turning the corner. I think this may be the last thing we've landed on is the right thing. So
we had such a positive weekend. We're in such a good mood.
I know, we really are. We really are. We celebrated our 5 years and bought yarn.
Yeah.
It's a good week. Very good week. Lovely, lovely yarn. So
I have gone from being a CFO to someone who wants to sit and knit.
Oh God.
And would not have it any other way.
Helen's creative side has just like blown up.
You would never. Oh my God! You would never have guessed that I had it in me.
Yeah, I mean it's so good. It's really good. I mean, I at least got to do things with the kindergartners. We got to do art projects and things like that. But Helen was in an office all those years, and it's just it's so good.
How poor stockings, people.
Oh my God! I know. It's terrible.
But somebody said to me this weekend, we were taking a lot of custom orders. And she was saying to me, oh, well, now you have to do all that sewing. And I mean this with every ounce of my being. It so beats the alternative.
Yes.
I love it.
Besides, we both really
Yeah.
love sewing with the machines. You know, not so much the hand sewing,
Right.
but we love sewing with the machines.
And we love to picking out the fabrics and making the fabrics work together and coming up with new styles and designs. And
yeah.
So
It
life is really good
life is
in the
very
toad
good.
world.
Yeah, life is good at the toad. So
And I think we'll end on that.
yeah, all right. So have a great week, everybody.
Yes.
I know it was a little bit more than a week since our last podcast, but I think we may be landing on Monday as a video day, a filming day, because this works. So we will see you in a week, and happy knitting.
Next week we'll try and get rid of that glare back there.
Yeah, but happy knitting.
Happy knitting, guys.
Have a great week. Bye.